Oh, wow.
Very interesting. For a minute there, I wish I could just go on and start hammering that guy because it's like the things I want to get off, but it's only an actor. It's only an actor.
Exactly.
And we have him here with us today. Sib Baba is here in the studio with us. He's a seasoned filmmaker and also professional actor with several series and movies to his title. Now, he shall be, well, telling us about his time in Nollywood, and we're going to be gaining such knowledge from him. You are welcome, sir. Good to have you here.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be
Finally,
here.
in person.
All right.
You do look like the politician in that, was
Really?
You even dressed the part as well. I don't know if I can dig at you, you know, some of the things that are happening in Nigeria now. People are not trying. But that just goes to show how you embody such characters and how we can't tell the difference when we see these movies. Good to have you here in person, sir.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
It's a pleasure being here.
It feels like maybe you are able to pick specific roles that fit you. Have you been able to do that over time?
Oh, well, I can pick any road, though.
Okay.
And then,
What's the most challenging you've had?
talking about the most challenging, I don't think I have quite a big challenge,
Okay.
given in my acting role. But basically, I think one of the challenging experience I had was when I started the industry. And,
When did you start?
Yeah.
and that was 2009.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was mixing it with business.
Okay.
Yeah. And it has to be like you have to take the script, you know, you have to get your word to
Word for word.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was one of it. But at a point, I was able to overcome that.
We've also heard that in Nigerian movies that most people don't actually go with the script word for word, that some people just go off the script and they're allowed to do so. There are examples of people like Sam Loco Efe and who else? What's his name?
I don't know.
A number of them who go off script. Is there any allowance for that inside of Nollywood? Is it a regular practice? Is it okay, or is it something that's frowned upon?
Well, as a matter of fact, acting is just interpretations of the story. If your acting role at that point interpret the story and the director allow that, then it's good to go.
Oh, okay.
As long as you give the story of what you're trying to interpret.
Okay.
I love the fact that you're on a set like Brethren, and it feels like it's, an all-encompassing production. There's crew members involved in every single aspect. I know that you're on screen here, but I know that there was a conversation we were having a little earlier on about how the crew and team are sort of treated on sets these
Generally.
days.
Thank you so much. That is actually a very major challenge. I would cap it as set discrimination.
That's discrimination.
Yeah, because there's a kind of discrimination between sometimes the lead actors and then the background actor.
Okay.
Of course, you may take a role of a king in an acting, but that does not mean that the palace guards are useless. Because the story cannot be complete
Without them.
without the guards.
Okay. Okay.
So whereby you have a background actor as an upcoming actor, you should be able to treat them nicely. And sometimes you find out that some background actors will finish doing work and they will be begging for their payments.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Absolutely, it's not right. So that is a very, very major challenge. Sometimes it's very easy to point accusing fingers to the government of not doing one or two things that's, doing it right. But in our own little environment, let us get things right.
Is this something that happens often inside of Nollywood? Is it a general problem that happens that sets discrimination?
Oh, well, in some production, not all, in fairness, not all. So that is why I'm just like, so if things is coming around part and coming.
Actual examples. Is it, a place to sit? Is there a special VIP room, or what are we talking about now?
Treatments.
When you say treatment, well, let's talk about specifics.
Okay, it's ranged from different angles. From the angles of paying the cast
Actors,
at the right time, you're supposed to pay them.
Okay.
That is number one. Number two, maybe an actor come and then he closed very late, and you're able to get a hotel room for the lead actor,
But not
and then the background actor, even at midnight, you say you can go.
You can go.
Wow. Wow.
And anything can happen on the road. So it's not safe.
Isn't it something that the body, the Actors Guild, for instance, is supposed to have taken charge of, supposed to have attended to from years from before? I mean, we've had Nollywood for, Nollywood is going well on 35 years, holding strong in Nigeria. So I think that we have apparatus in place that actually makes sure that these kinds of instances are taken care of. People's rights are not infringed. You have a place you can report to just in case you're not treated nicely. Like we have the example of the, what's it called now, the actors in America where they had a specific place they could go to report and specific actions that were taken. They went on strike and all of this. And I think they're still in the middle of all of that. Isn't there no such apparatus in Nigeria?
Oh, yeah, there is. And like I said, it's not 100% of the cases, though.
Okay.
But in the few cases that happened, sometimes, like recently, some elder says we will create an elder forums where if there is any report, come to the elders forum and then tender the reports so that they'll be able to deal with it. I think that also start controlling some things, some aspect of the challenge.
I actually remember a personal experience. Now this was I think I was 19, 20 years old at the time.
That's just yesterday.
And yeah, like last week. But I remember being on set, and it was for an epic. And we had to go all the way to Ekpe. Now, Ekpe, when I was 19, is not the Ekpe of today that actually has traffic lights and paved roads.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Ekpe, like red mud huts and everything. And we were actually made to sit outside in the sun for going on 6 to 7 hours.
Wow, that's a long time.
Soldier ants, sand flies, one meal. That's, it was just one
terrible.
meal. Hardly any water. And by the time we were done, they were like, okay, back to Lagos.
Bye-bye.
At that time of the night.
Wow.
We hadn't had shelter all day. And there was nobody who could report to. But the thing is, I just thank God I had options. I didn't go back to the set the next day. That was day one. They called me tired. In the end, they had to replace me.
Oh, wow.
But I said I wasn't going
couldn't
back.
do that again.
No, I wasn't going back. But that was
That's
because I had a choice. But there are a lot of actors that don't have a choice.
Exactly. Do you know that some of them, even because of closing very late, end up losing their phones
On the road.
to
Property, all of that.
because at that late hours, anybody can attack.
That's very
and
sad.
that happens. So.
Well, Mr. Sonny, let's now bring it back to modern acting and modern actors. And I say modern actors for specific, very deliberately. We find that most modern actors are people who carry a lot of numbers behind them, and I mean social media numbers. Now, as a veteran, taking a look at what acting was from before, coming from where you are, and then meeting these new actors who have simply just made it from social media onto the acting set, do you find that there is a disconnect from what real acting is to what acting for numbers might be? Let me just ask the question straight up. Do you think skit makers are actors? Boom.
Yes, as long as it interprets the story, it entertains the people, it gives information to people, it is acting.
But don't you think that somewhere we're compromising, where we're taking people to be in movies just because of their numbers and their following, and that they will come and see these movies, as against when you take real actors who have studied the art, who are veterans, who can actually interpret better? Aren't we compromising anyway?
Oh, yeah, I think I get your question very correctly. Yes, in a society, there's kind of, when you are recognized for something, people do not really get to know much about the storyline. They don't care to know about the information.
Yeah, this is good.
They just like adore you just the way you are.
Yeah.
You understand? So I think that narrative is like a general syndrome. But then, at the same time, you still find out that a lot of them are doing a very good job.
Yeah, no doubt, definitely.
They're doing a very good job.
And as we round up on that, we're going to be seeing a few clips of you now. But I feel like some of those skit makers are probably getting the VIP treatment now, as opposed to actors who studied theater, but they're still B-class actors.
Let's actually check this skit out. It actually is a skit. And then by the time we get back, we'll have Sib Baba inside of the kitchen where we have something very delicious prepared just for you.
Daddy.
Yes.
What was the first political party in Nigeria?
It's NFP.
NFP.
Yes.
Daddy, NFP.
Yes.
Daddy, NFP is wrong now. NFP is wrong.
Is it wrong?
It's wrong.
Oh.
Daddy.
My son, who sounds Skelewu?
Skelewu?
Yes, Skelewu.
Daddy Shoki.
Okay, that is okay. It's not correct.
It's not correct.